With respect.
Thank you.
But first, good morning.
Good morning.
Do you think
we're back.
Do you think it's easy to do a radio interview with a high-end Big Ten college basketball coach? With you talking to me between questions as he responds? Oh, hyperactive Alec.
Well, what you don't know is there are cameras in this studio right here, and I think we could check the tape, the all four, not the all 22, the all four, and it would show.
Yeah, it's radio, so it's the all three mouths.
Okay, but it would show that I was not the one initiating the talking. I wanted to hear Nico Medved talk about Nolan Gross, who I watched at Orono.
Or talk about Kyan Murray.
Kyan.
Yeah, Kyan Murray.
Like the pepper.
Yep.
No, I actually, on a serious note.
Is he spicy on the court?
Yeah. I mean, did you hear the analysis? I actually was at the 3M Open yesterday.
Oh, wow. That's sweet. Were you there to get Scotty Scheffler's opinion on the Vikings quarterback competition?
I was not, and I also don't have the Mark Twain quote about playing golf that may or may not have led.
No, you were listening to the first segment in the Bredesen Talkbacks.
God forbid I listen to my favorite show.
Save that.
But yeah, so anyway, I was at the 3M, and the reason I bring that up is to say there were a couple people in conversations that I had who were raving about Nico Medved. So it was like random. I'm not Mr. Minnesota men's basketball guy,
right?
But
well, you look down at it being from Alabama and being from Anniston, Alabama, but really appreciating everything Alabama sports related.
Yeah,
including Big Shot Bob Orry and Antonio McDyess and
Latrell Sprewell
with Alabama. So you got to stop looking down your nose at Nico's product.
Well, did you watch Bama hoops as a kid?
Absolutely, yeah.
So
Bama hoops, yeah.
Would you have been paying attention in 2017 when Alabama, with only three players on the court,
Colin Sexton
nearly came back and beat our Gophers?
I think the coach was either Avery Johnson or Anthony Grant. I remember, I can remember where I was at.
You were like 15, right?
Yeah, and I remember being at a friend's house and the highlight of like, they played with three and they beat the Gophers. Or I was like, what? And I thought Colin Sexton was going to be the next LaMelo Ball, but unfortunately he hasn't become that yet.
What's Alec Lewis, The Athletic, theathletic.com, at Alec_Lewis via X. What's Vikings Collective?
Ooh.
And who's Garrett Greenlee?
It's a new show on YouTube because honestly, as you know well, there aren't enough Vikings shows and podcasts. Like you can't find any on YouTube or on a podcast.
Thank you for filling the void.
So really, the idea was, how can we give people Vikings talk? They can't find it anywhere, so let's do it. So no, on a serious note, Garrett is a Vikings fan who has a big time YouTube channel where he analyzes football, and I was asked to be a part of this trio. We'll do a show a week every Wednesday night talking Vikings. My hope is I can lob up topics and try to get some reps as like a host kicking stuff around. Like we're just seeing Courtney Cronin up there on TV. That's kind of her role. I don't have much experience in that role, so I view it as a learning opportunity.
So you're hosting.
I mean, I'm one of the hosts,
but
sweet. I think because I have my own podcast, because again, there's such little Vikings talking void, so I feel like I had to have my own as well.
Yeah.
That I feel like that is the place for me to talk through some of what I see and hear, whereas this is going to be a little more like point guardy, set the table up, make sure the ball doesn't stick type of process.
Now, when you and I were texting about the show and everything, not that show, but this show, but it morphed into Vikings Collective. When does this start? Next week?
Next Wednesday night. So it'll be after the first day that we're out there as a media contingent.
And with respect to Garrett Greenlee, the fact that the name just doesn't jump out at me, but now I'm certainly going to follow the work, listen to stuff like that.
Yeah, thanks.
Do you when it comes to 9 to noon inclusion for Double G? If he's so inclined, I mean, maybe he can come on the show sometime. But you said yesterday via text that give him a little time to simmer and improve and stuff like that. Do you still believe that, or was that just yesterday?
I always love that.
I mean, you're setting me up. You set me up throughout the in between the Medved interview. You set me up from the top. You're setting me up with.
No, we did you a solid earlier.
Max Bredesen nicknames. I mean, it's good. It's good, but
that shows I'm reading your stories. Honestly, because you requested a Max Bredesen, or you didn't request help from Rube Nation, but you're like, need a nickname for somebody who's going to be a fan favorite.
And it's probably really brilliant to ask a fan base for a nickname of a guy they've never really watched in a Vikings uniform.
I always love that.
But part of the reason I did it is because I believe that Max Bredesen will become a fan favorite with how he plays. So
I agree.
That was the idea.
So with Vikings Collective, does this mean you're off the Friday football feed?
No, not at all. I'm excited for the
that's not what Dane Mizutani told me.
Dane's the best. I saw Dane earlier this week, and we talked about you. We talked about a lot of things. Why
are you talking about me?
Because I mean, there's a lot of people. I'm excited.
I'm just happy you're talking to me these days.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
That's pretty good. I'm excited. And seeing Dane, seeing you, seeing Nordo, seeing Chad Abbott.
Dane's fantastic.
Yeah, Dane's one of the best humans I've ever met.
Very
to a point that makes you look. Yeah, he is, and it's really frustrating how good of a person he is, but also he does the job at the level he does. But
okay, so you're on the feast.
Yeah.
Sarah, Brian, and Jordan from Steve's Appliances, stevesappliances.com. Well, they saw your ballyhoo tweet, and they're like, is Alec out?
Yeah, they're like, the fingerprint dishwasher resistant. I mean, someone's got to promote that stuff. So, yeah. No, you could probably hear it in my voice. I told my parents 2 weeks ago, I'm like, I'm ready for this thing to roll. Let's get going.
Are you?
I really am. I really am.
What about MD? Does MD recognize absence makes the heart grow fonder? Because there's going to be a lot of absence.
I think she's okay with absence. It's been a good summer, but it's time to get back to work.
Well, she's never, ever, ever going to see you the next 5.5 to 6 months. But again, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah, but I mean,
she'll go to a few feasts.
The opportunity to enjoy
Plymouth.
The opportunity to enjoy the coverage of a playoff run.
Playoff run.
I mean, that's. I'm just kidding.
Are we turning the frown upside down?
I'm always trying.
Mm-hmm. Alec Lewis, The Athletic, and theathletic.com. We're going to pause here. When we return, we are going to unfurl Vikes Bites, and with our time with Alec today, not only will we get his opinions on some Vikes Bites coming up around the corner, but as mentioned earlier. Really, really cool piece that Alec put together at The Athletic, 45 on 45 offensive players, and he wrote paragraphs on each. And 9 to Noon has pulled some of the paragraphs tied to individual players. We're going to go over that a little later, too. But first, we got this.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a chance to win some bonus bucks with the National Cash Contest. This hour's keyword is bonus. The keyword is bonus. You can win by entering that in at KFAN.com.
You're listening live to Paul Allen at 9 to noon on iHeartRadio and FM 100.
Vikes Bites for Alec Lewis of The Athletic and theathletic.com.
Are you excited to be back doing Vikes Bites every day?
Yes, and
Vikes Bites.
Like the quarterback competition conversation.
I've never heard of it.
I'm not bored with it. It's like I really enjoy it because there still legitimately is unpredictable fascination with McCarthy and Murray and McCarthy coming up to training camp. So that excites me. I get a little frustrated with these conversations at this point of the equation. That's not the case with these guys, Nordo.
Vikes Bites is presented by Paul, Craig, and Clay. They make up Kinmount Exteriors, roofing, siding, decks, windows, and go to kinmountexteriors.com. Find out the different ways that they can help you. Unbelievable service. Anderson certified contractor. They can do windows, pop those things in seconds. So they can do them all year round, whether it's 2 windows or it's 20. Check out kinmountexteriors.com. I'm going to start here. So you did write that piece regarding just some thoughts, unloading the notebook, or at least little mini paragraphs on the offensive players. But you also had this really cool feature that I saw that you popped this morning on Dennis Ryan. Now, I had to check my calendar because I believe Dennis Ryan did retire 3 years ago. However, in terms of the way that we talk about Vikings immortality, I think Dennis Ryan is in that conversation, given, 4.5 decades of service to the team. And I was just curious if you could share with us maybe one or two fun little quips that you got from Dennis Ryan and that nearly half century of purple and gold connection that he had that he dedicated himself to.
Yeah, last spring, Dennis Ryan, who was the Vikings equipment manager, I think since like 1981, he's worked for the team since 75. He got an honor from the Hall of Fame. And at that point last spring, I was like, I'd never really read anything on who this guy who was such a pillar within the organization is, or what he did, or what the players thought of him. And so started reaching out to people last spring. Last year ended up being pretty busy. I don't know if you guys saw the season, but it was pretty interesting. So then picked it back up this spring, talked to like 15 former Vikings players. And I mean, the stories are endless. I mean, Pete Bursich told a story about like Dennis one time, it was snowing so hard before a game. Dennis's car got stuck on the side of the highway. Because this is how he is, instead of calling anyone, he just walked to the stadium.
Right.
Like, there's a story about him, Jerry Burns having to get him to go purchase a mannequin from the local mall, have him dress it up like Monty Kiffin. They staged a fight. He threw the mannequin off the balcony. Wow. People thought Monty got thrown off the balcony. I mean, it's just some absolute mayhem.
Well, how'd they miss that? That must have popped this morning.
It was this morning.
Okay.
Yeah, it was mayhem. But yeah, I you know this, Nordo. Like, I love the stories about the people.
Yes,
I know that over the course of the next few weeks, when this competition happens, there's going to be little time for stories about the people as opposed, adjacent to the quarterback. So this gave me an opportunity to do something like that, and it was fun. And but I'm ready for the season.
No,
Dennis was the second equipment manager in the history of the team.
Yeah.
Who preceded him?
Stubby.
Jim Stubby Eason.
Who's the current equipment manager?
Mike Parson. Yeah. If you're a Vikings fan, who would you rather have on your payroll? Mike Parson or Micah Parsons?
Mike Parson is phenomenal.
That's not even
You've talked to him?
Not until I need some road garb this year.
He's elite, Mike Parson.
Yeah, he's awesome. Used to be with the Texans.
Yeah, he did.
Mike's Bites. Thank you, Kinmount Exteriors. I'm going to play a talk back, and then I'm going to ask a question attached to it, all right?
Thank you.
Morning, gentlemen. Todd from St. Louis Park here. We go as our offensive line goes. A huge year for Christian Darrisaw, coming off that spotty season post-injury. Donovan Jackson in year 2. Blake Brandell, will he be our starting center?
Yeah.
And then you got Fries and O'Neal on the other side. I think we go as the big boys go up front. Skol.
Skol Vikings, thank you for the talkbacks to the free iHeartRadio app. But Alec, one name that he didn't mention in there for good reason is 2026 draft pick Caleb Tiernan. And so I'm just curious, what his path is right now. Would he get reps on special teams in 2026? Does he practice at the tackle spot in case of injury? Maybe some of those are obvious already answering themselves questions. Or could he be our Dan Skipper at some point in the 2026 season? The sneaky wildcat making plays. He's like 6'8", 330, and he's just sitting on the bench over there. He's so lonely, but he could do maybe he could do great things his rookie season. I don't know. Caleb Tiernan, what's his path?
What if he's a new age George Fant? I always
are you kidding me?
With Pete Carroll's Super Chickens. If you read Alex 45 on 45 and you get to Caleb Tiernan, well, when it comes to the potential of him moving to guard, if you read between the lines, I think Alec made him sound like, because of his arm length or lack thereof, like some troll underneath a bridge sitting next to Billy Goat Gruff.
No, people freak out about the arm length thing.
What is his nickname, T-Rex or what?
But I will say this about Caleb Tiernan. Like, I'd say short term, Nordo, I do think it's going to be, field goal attempt type stuff if you see him on the field. I definitely think that he is going to be a depth option at tackle. I'm not sure if he's the primary depth option because they added Ryan Vandemark, the RFA from the Buffalo Bills, who, that guy is a mountain of a man. When you're out there, you will notice him very quickly because he is ginormous. And then I think Caleb Tiernan, just over time, it'll be a development. technique at the NFL level, and then what spot makes the most sense for him. In a pinch, I do think he could slide in and play guard. I just don't think that's I don't think the Vikings drafted him. They're like, here's this college tackle we want to be a guard from the outset. I just don't think that's where it's going to be. But I will end this by saying the talk back in talking about the offensive line, I think is spot on. I don't think you could talk enough about it because we saw last year, regardless of who's playing quarterback, if you're shuffling in your 7th, 8th, 9th offensive lineman in the middle of a game, it's going to make it really hard to play offense no matter who is at that position. And so I think there are a lot of players with interesting situations. Darisaw, obviously. Brian O'Neill, what is his contract situation? I mean, he's entering the final year of his deal. I've reported this already, so it's not breaking something here, but the team and his representatives gauged numbers back in the spring before the combine. Nothing's obviously happened. I do think they have connected more recently on that subject, but there's a lot with the offensive line that warrants conversation, I would say, leading into this season.
You know what's cool about that, though? And it stinks because last year, the season that it went the wrong way. And it was like 20-some different O-line combinations. But you know how you spin that if you're Alec Lewis, who covers the Vikings for The Athletic? Man, Joe Huber really did his thing last year when he was asked, hey, Michael Juergens might have an opportunity. Well, Walter Rouse, well, we'll see.
Walter Rouse is one of the best conversations in the locker room is what I would say. But I've said this. The Vikings use 17 different combinations of offensive line for at least 10 snaps. So, the real number is probably 25 plus, but that 17 played at least 10 snaps together. That was second most in the NFL behind the Chargers. The Bears were at 6. So, you just, the NFC North odds and everything, I just wonder if you flip those numbers. Meanwhile, Shams is reporting that LeBron is signing with the 76ers.
What? Really?
Well, that's fresh?
That's fresh, according to my notifications.
Wow.
If you flip those numbers, and we can talk LeBron if you want.
Just made Adam Silver's day.
Yeah. I think, if you flip the offensive line health numbers, I think seasons could look a lot different. But yeah, we can go Vikes Spikes. We can go LeBron James, whatever.
He's signing with a 2-year, $8 million deal. With a player option.
Yeah. Now, as I said earlier, I'm not, bored in any way or frustrated in any way dissecting the Minnesota Vikings quarterback situation. Excited to start watching it next week.
Yes.
Yeah. Then pads go on shortly after that. Then the Ravens are here middle August. All of that sounds very, very enticing and compelling. Mm-hmm. Yours truly absolutely became tired of and bored with where's LeBron going to play? It just was, especially when it was the commissioner actually came out and said, we're not releasing the schedule until this guy determines where he's going to play, which is lunacy. And it's quasi-embarrassing a commissioner would say that. And then LeBron, of course, self-proclaimed king, was like, well, that pisses me off. So now I'm going to make everybody wait longer. Holy cow, what a shoe-size contest that became.
You got Rich Paul on the podcast with Max Kellerman. Mm-hmm. You got whiteboards. Yeah, I'd say just as I cover the NFL, but as a sports fan, it got to the point over it's all right, just I respect the heck out of your career. Just pick a team and then it'll be interesting.
Well, and after all that, PA, you and I talked about it. Maybe it's nostalgia in Cleveland. Not sure what that looks like with Miami and the Greek Freak. He went to the place that has the best players around him. Yeah. With VJ Edgecombe, you have Embiid, you have Maxey.
Yeah, you have all 32 games you'll get from Embiid.
Maxey's a Clutch guy. Clutch Sports agency, that same agency as LeBron, Rich Paul. There's definitely some connection there.
Mm-hmm. But he's going to be playing with Jaylen Brown. That's...
Oh, wow, that's right.
This was the roster that was the most star-studded if he is indeed chasing a title.
And you go to the East.
Yeah.
And you go to Philly, where if you hoist a title in Philly, you will get a statue right next to Rocky.
And clearly you were told by constituents with San Antonio and Oklahoma City you're not wanted to have the geriatric nature of his game these days, playing with all those talented kids. That probably never will come out.
Would you have said that if he'd chosen the Wolves?
Well, what do you mean? We have Rudy Gobert. He's a chiseled veteran.
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. I mean, Harrison Barnes would have taken the L because they only have room for one old head on the roster. Who's
going to play power forward for the Wolves?
Well, don't
worry about it.
When are you going to have Finch on? And that's a question. That's just one.
Well, how's Keldon Johnson going to go back-to-back for Sixth Man of the Year without LeBron there?
I always love that one.
The worst Sixth Man of the Year winner in the history of the NBA, Keldon Johnson.
No, but the real question I want to know is who is the Wolves' power forward?
That's a great question, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough spot.
That's
Trey Lyles, who didn't play in the league last year.
Trey Lyles was a great 3-point shooter at Kentucky when I was like in middle school or high school.
Oh, he was a Wildcat.
Yeah, John Calipari. But
Bam Adebayo was a Wildcat. I mean, excuse me for being the last know that. I didn't realize that until like a year ago. Bam Adebayo, who knew?
Well, the safe bet would be any NBA player is pretty good. Would probably played for John Calipari. But yeah, my thing is
want to go back and forth on the former Wildcats who are in or were in the NBA. I'll begin with Bam Adebayo. You get
Jamal Murray.
You get Trey Lyles. I get Jamal Murray. You get who?
John Wall.
Willie Cauley-Stein. 3.
2.
Devin Booker.
Karl Anthony Towns.
DeMarcus Cousins.
Anthony Davis.
Did DeMarcus Cousins play at Kentucky?
Sure he did.
This is not a game that the I don't know.
Michael Gilchrist.
Stop.
Michael, he wasn't
He played in the NBA.
Exceptional.
Okay, I'll let you cheat. Eric Bledsoe.
What? Oh, he's from Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
Parker High School, 205 stand up.
Wow.
Who is the point guard? They had one. I mean, they've had a million point guards.
Mm-hmm.
What about Maxey?
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyler Hero.
The music behind
How about
I'm League Freak raised.
Recent Wolves draft pick, who is now, I believe, with the Bulls.
How is Trey Kaufman? I'm just kidding.
Dilly?
Dillingham.
Yeah.
He was a draft pick. I do remember that.
Right. Anyway, Bikes Bites provided by whom?
Kinmount Exteriors, KinmountExteriors.com. Hey, you're not sitting on any hey, here's this big injury thing that's going to be a complete L all camp, are you?
No, I'm not sitting on any. No, okay. I mean I do think if
Caleb Banks' foot, and then maybe there's some murky thing that's hanging out in the mist somewhere that's going to surprise us and ruin our week.
Cashman's finger.
Yeah, I would say if I were to power rank the things that I would be most curious about, Caleb Banks' foot is number one. Mm-hmm. I think Christian Darrisaw and how present he is every single day is, I mean, it probably should be number one, but the attention will be around Caleb Banks because he was a major swing at the first round pick spot.
Wait, with Darrisaw.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be 10 of 10, no question on anything.
That's what I'm saying.
What's going on here?
But they're in the OTAs, he was there for the most part, but there was a day where he didn't practice. It's OTAs. It's not a major thing. Mm-hmm. But again, that's really it. If there is anything, that's where the alarm bells in my head will be going off. But no, Nordo, I don't. Now, we could get out there Wednesday, and it could be very clear that some really important player is not present. But it's my understanding, most of the staff's not getting back in the building until Sunday. Mm-hmm. Rookies get there Sunday. So, physicals will start to happen at that point, and then that's probably when the steam will fly.
Vikes Bites, pre-camp fodder for the bleep of it on a Friday.
Sure.
Which spot is more, might you say, interesting or intriguing? Maybe piquing that curiosity of yours for your next episode of The Collective? Is it going the third tight end or the fourth wide receiver? Because last year, Urasek, baby carrot guy, got 100 snaps offensively, but for the most part, it was Hawkinson and it was Oliver. We know that. I don't know how important it is that we get more out of that. Gavin Bartholomew will have an opportunity after missing all of his rookie season with the back thing. On the other side of it, I remember earlier this week I'm filling in and Talkbacker was really heavy on I need more from Ty Felton at the fourth wide receiver spot.
Yeah.
Can Miles Price be more than just a dude that handles kicks? Are you even in it at all on who the third tight end or the fourth wide receiver might be?
Yeah, third tight end is interesting to me because you've got two guys in TJ Hockenson and Josh Oliver who have missed games in recent years. And I think the tight end position around the league has become, I don't know what the right word is, but kind of a turning point for how teams use personnel and dictate matchups.
Yeah, just watch McVay's team play.
Yeah, so if you lose, the way my mind works is thinking, okay, it's week 6, you lose Hawkinson or you lose Oliver. Do you have someone behind those guys who can fill in and allow your game plan, being Kevin O'Connell, from Kevin O'Connell's perch, to continue the way it was conducted and concocted from throughout the week? So tight end 3 is much more interesting to me. I think Ty Felton is the pretty clear 4. I think his development is something that kind of showed a little this spring. And though he hasn't produced as a receiver, that doesn't, a guy can still develop. He's in a room that will honestly heed development as much as any on the roster, given the coach and the competition in that room. So I think tight end 3 is more of a consideration in my mind.
Was Ty Felton, did he stick out on special teams last year?
Yeah, he did. As a gunner, he made some plays. There were a couple penalties. They had a really young unit, so fans seem to get real frustrated throughout the season with the penalties. Understandably, you can't have them on that side, being the third phase. But
he played 2/3 of snaps on special teams.
Yeah, he played a bunch of snaps as a gunner. That will still be a responsibility, and I think special teams should have. Punter, we'll see what happens. Johnny Hecker, the numbers were really down last year, so.
And he hasn't thrown in like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, and I think you seem to think that the punter spot throws more than they punts. But I would say
I just want to know who's going to complete more passes.
I know you love that. It's
Johnny Hecker, Justin Jefferson, or Jawan Jennings.
It's Justin.
Well, Jawan Jennings is 2 of 2. They're both touchdowns, and they both took place in the playoffs. So let's not shortchange the prowess of Jawan Jennings.
Well, I'll have to ask our friends over at whichever odds maker you guys are with these days. I would be curious what the odds would be on that.
Well, being serious with the fourth wide receiver spot,
sure.
You guys would know more about the numbers counter, the analytics than me. But how frequently do they play 4 receivers?
That's what I was going to ask, man, because I know a lot of people are like, "Hey, Ty Felton, 3rd round receiver, and he didn't do anything." Okay, well, in most of their 3 wide receiver sets, who are you taking out? Jalen Naylor? Are you taking out Addison? He might be a victim of lack of opportunity.
Exactly.
Which then you read through the tea leaves and you're just like, well, he's not showing up in practice. But he was doing a bleep ton of special teams and
everything. I like talking to people internally. I think people really like the work habits are really good. The athleticism and explosiveness definitely stands out for people. The 2 things with him, just based on conversations, it's just he had a bunch of drops at Maryland in his last college season there. And then just the fluidity as a route runner is always something as guys transition, they have to improve upon. So those will be things to watch, I think, throughout this training camp. I also, I'm going to throw Dylan Bell's name out there, the Georgia undrafted dude. He showed up every day, essentially this spring. So whether it's wide receiver 5 or what have you, of all the positions on the roster, that is one where, yes, if an injury happens, you're concerned. But to have the 3 at the top that they have is, it's an embarrassment of riches.
The autumn wind is an Alec, pillaging just for fun. He's with The Athletic and TheAthletic.com, courtesy of Steve's Appliances and Steve'sAppliances.com. A lot of football conversation, middle portion of the radio show. Football season is approaching. Steve's Appliances is getting loose with their summer clearance event. It begins August 10th. You're going to find closeout specials and hundreds of models in stock, ready to roll with fast delivery, free recycling, and that guaranteed low pricing. So, Steve'sAppliances.com, Steve'sAppliances.com. They are second to none. It's 10:42. Good morning. This is 9 to noon.
You're listening live to Paul Allen at 9 to noon on iHeartRadio.
So with this 45 on 45 offensive players for the Vikings at The Athletic and TheAthletic.com, written by Alec Lewis, our in-studio guest, I copied and pasted probably about 6 of them. We won't have time to get to all of them. But some things that I found to be interesting, including Kyler Murray. And Alec wrote, his intelligence and arm talent energized the Vikings staff this spring. Leadership and decision-making are the current priorities. So how do you parse your way between those? And then like with intelligence, that would be, I would look at that as, to a certain extent, scholar of the game, embracing the playbook and the tentacles to each play. And, the last time really I heard him talk was at minicamp after that bad first day. And he was like, I'm used to getting all the reps here. And this is new to me, which is fine. Like I thought Sean Salisbury with his criticism of Kyler was way over the top and quite honestly uncalled for, because I don't think Kyler put it that way. So I understand, the things through which he's going. But when you say intelligent and arm talent energize the Viking staff, but then leadership and decision-making are current priorities, what does all that mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think the first part, the perception, and I could be wrong about this, but the way I've perceived how people view Kyler is that, it's the classics, the video games. Yeah. He doesn't really care.
Well, that doesn't count anymore.
Yeah. So it's my understanding, based on conversations with people who've been with him and people with him now.
Well, how is Mouse Davis?
that his ability to conceptualize what this very complex playbook is, like that he is able and he's going to be willing and able. That is my understanding. I think the leadership, I mean, there is a quarterbacks, the way they carry themselves, it's different. They're looked to be a certain way. And so I think for Kyler stepping into this organization that needs, the leadership, the motivational urge behind him, like proving that every day and maximizing and bridging relationships in the locker room, like seeing him do that is one of the things that is a priority. So that's how I juxtapose those two things. But it's going to be really interesting, PA. Like, if he's still working his way through the system the first week of training camp, which leads to struggles in performance, which is reported by the media.
Yeah. And reported accurately with Darnold and Cousins. And Kirk Cousins is one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the history of this team. Darnold just hoisted the Lombardi. So those are the people about whom we're chatting. Kyler is next.
So if that's I've just gone down the road in my head of if he struggles early because he's acclimating to the system really before he feels really comfortable, then and JJ looks at least more comfortable, then the narrative is going to be strong a certain way. So, there are a lot of layers to it. And I think it's important for me and my responsibility to just be as objective, clear-eyed as I can be.
Okay. So with JJ McCarthy, Alec writes, consistency matters. And McCarthy, 23 years of age, showed improvement this spring. His connectivity with teammates is significant too. Layering passes remains a priority, but assessing his performance will be much easier than it was last year. I love this part, when juxtaposed with Sam Howell. It's a nice turn of phrase there. But what do you mean by all that?
Yeah, I mean, J.J. McCarthy, I definitely thought this spring looked more comfortable. But for him, it's going to be showing up every day, really producing, maintaining the just attention to detail that the Vikings offense really demands out of that position. And then the layering of the football has been something that I can remember, hearing about right after they drafted J.J. McCarthy, in terms of he throws the ball really hard. That can be really productive, fitting the ball into tight windows. But in this league, with the way defenses are moving, shifting, you have to be able to get the ball up and down into voids and vacancies.
But wait, remember training camp last year? You guys stand up on the berm, and I'm at the Vikings perch memorizing numbers and body types. So we're all watching the same thing. Remember how hard J.J. McCarthy was throwing every single pass? And like Jefferson one time, like after not being able to haul in just a straight 15-yard Nolan Ryan fastballs. Dog, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, but the last part of it was just with it last year, the quarterbacks we were watching every day were J.J. McCarthy, Sam Howell, and Max Brosmer. And Sam Howell threw at least 6 or 7 interceptions in these practices. And so it was really hard to discern, like, does J.J. McCarthy, is he leaps and bounds better, or is Sam Howell's struggles framing how J.J. looks? And you know, you also have to, and you guys know this, but like Brian Flores is trying to prepare his defense. So there are no easy opportunities, and that layer of evaluating it with that in mind further complicates just like how good does this guy or this offense looks, and it makes it difficult if you're just covering it without practice film to review afterwards, the way we don't have that as media members.
Blake Brandel, the starting center for the Minnesota Vikings, Blake Brandel. Alec writes, talk to Kyler Murray's former coaches, and they will reiterate the need for interior protection.
Yeah.
That's really cool that you wrote that, man, because I wasn't even thinking about that with Kyler because he moves so well. The Vikings are betting big on Brandel to help provide it.
Yeah, I mean, when I've had conversations with people who spent a lot of time with him in Arizona at all points of his career there, which has been obviously a project for me all summer.
And how is Bruce Arians?
You know, the one thing that what stood out was his like spatial awareness in the pocket. He can feel stuff coming at him on the edges. So if a tackle gets beat, like he can typically feel that. Where it becomes more problematic for him, and maybe it's a byproduct of the height, or maybe it's just his processing ability. Like when there's interior pressure in his face, his eyes can drop, and that can affect his ability to go through rhythm and timing and progressions the way this offense is going to demand him to progress. And so Blake Brandel, you know this, PA, like they've believed in him for a long time, but there's a difference in believing him to be a versatile offensive line depth piece and a starting center in the NFL every single weekend. And so while I think there's upside there, that's going to be an evaluation point all year.
Right tackle Brian O'Neill. Alec writes, perhaps the team's only offensive player with an unresolved contract situation heading into 2026. His early camp participation, or lack thereof, will warrant attention. Are you in any way anticipating a hold in?
I'm not certain. Like I would say, it's always possible that the two have either consummated an extension or are so close that it's not necessary. And you know Brian O'Neill well, just like I do, having spent time. Like
I'd make it 9 out of 10 if this is not resolved. He's a hold in.
But this is a guy who I will say he will have a hard time doing it, because of how much he wants to be involved and be a leader for this team. Like
no earache out of nowhere.
There is, with Brian O'Neill, there is no play the part, talk the talk of being a leader and being a cornerstone vocal person within the locker room. So if he is holding in, again, like I know in his heart and in his mind it will be really, really difficult to miss time.
Wide receiver Jayshon Jones. And I put this in here simply for the final 2 words. I just love it when you do stuff like this.
When I got to Jayshon Jones, I'm like sipping coffee, thinking about how I can just be creative with it.
Jayshon Jones, wide receiver. Former Vikings wide receiver Tristan Jackson passed him the training camp all-star mantle. Jones makes plays this time of the year. Coaches notice. Jones makes plays this time of the year. Coaches notice. That's so great.
He always, I remember.
Hold on. Dylan Bell.
Yeah, sure.
Saved a fun one for last.
Number 89.
Yep. He caught passes all over the place this spring. One NFC executive singled Bell out as the most talented of the Vikings undrafted signings.
How is John Lynch?
I don't know. I haven't talked to Griggs in a while since he went to Cleveland. But anyway,
he's an AFC executive. But
my
good
bad.
Try.
A roster spot may await. Dylan Bell, and I think when people see him live, He jumps out. I mean, I'm not saying it's like N'Keal Harry with the wide receiver going
shoulders.
To tight end. Yeah, I mean that was a massive thing right there, but he couldn't play a lick. With Dillon, physically speaking, he sticks out. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like
thicker thing
every day. Well, Georgia used him as a running back a little bit. They really did. So I really
wow.
One of the I got back on the clock earlier this week, and one of my ideas was like I should just do like why did Dillon Bell not go drafted? Because physically and athletically he's really talented, and in the spring he showed up every single day. Like I would tweet, in my characteristic excitable way, like. People want to talk about the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by Dillon Bell. But you know me to know this. Like
readers notice.
But and you know me to know this. Like I don't just say I don't do that stuff just because I'm some elite wide receiver viewing mind.
Yeah, you don't blow V8.
Yeah, I try. No, I probably do at times.
A little bit. But you're not full of hyperbole.
No, I try to ensure that what I'm saying is backed by information.
Correct.
So yeah, he's one throughout training camp who, like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Wednesday. Dillon Bell made a couple, impressive catches. Dillon Bell snagged one for J.J. McCarthy. Dillon Bell. Yeah, I'm just not going to be surprised.
Okay. And, finally, rookie, hybrid, rookie fullback / tight end, Max Bredesen. Alec writes, the Vikings drafted Bredesen with a purpose. He can bury defenders as a blocker. He can master protection rules. His becoming a fan favorite wouldn't be surprising. Needs a nickname. Soliciting ideas. Well, I think you know this now, but we did that for you earlier.
Sure.
We're going to play a couple of talkbacks for you. I had a suggestion.
I heard it.
Mash and Max. It ain't that great. Did you know J.J. McCarthy gave him a nickname when they played together at Michigan?
I didn't.
Foxhole Guy. He called him Foxhole Guy. So that was his collegiate nickname that everybody called him Foxhole Guy.
Well, if he's got it, then I've never been of the opinion, if someone has a nickname that has been given, don't try to rewrite that.
Amen.
Regardless of what it is.
Yeah, that's why with Caleb Williams, and this is a dear friend of mine, Jeff Joniak, the play-by-play voice for the Chicago Bears, when he started calling Caleb Williams Iceman, bro, that's George Gervin, okay, from the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah,
it's nickname immortality.
That's tough.
Iceman cometh. It was on the front of Sports Illustrated. So yeah, I'm completely with you on that.
Well, that's like, I think, Norda, you said Mad Max. And my thing was, or just thinking about it, I'm like, is there anyone else who has that nickname? Like, is Max Crosby? Do people call him? That's because...
Oh, no, your generation doesn't give nicknames because it impacts branding. We're not going to call him Mad Max because that means any product that has the word nice in it or kind or something like that. Well, we can't use something called Mad Max.
Yeah, he couldn't.
Patrick Mahomes doesn't even have a nickname.
He couldn't do like a floral endorsement.
Yeah, but I mean,
Mad Max.
I would maybe argue that maybe any endorsement that Max Bredesen can generate early on, he should, the marketing overarching ability would probably come secondary to just the marketing at all.
And I had forgotten. Until I watched Quarterbacks last night on Netflix.
How was Joe Flacco? No. You probably loved watching Joe.
Yeah, I'm digging it. It's. I don't think any of them ever are going to be as good as the first year.
No,
with Cousins and Mariota and Mahomes.
Kirk was the best. I think Kirk will remain the best character.
I thought it was okay, but the Baker Mayfield part has potential. But Max Bredesen's brother is the starting offensive lineman for the Tampa Bay Buccaneoto's.
I think one of his other brothers is also like an executive for the Mets or something.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and how is Dwight Gooden?
Juan Soto's doing well.
So McCarthy called him Foxhole Guy.
Okay.
Wouldn't you just shorten that to Foxhole?
Yeah, Foxhole.
Yeah, it's Foxhole.
I like that. You have great block by Foxhole, and Claiborne heads left outside the numbers. Lightning, yes.
That's Damon Claiborne.
Well, and Bredesen can be the Thunder. Now, it's Brandon Jacobs and Tiki Barber, who I think were the original Thunder
Sonic
and Lightning.
And what was
Sonic and Knuckles?
Sonic and Knuckles.
That's just
David
awful.
Montgomery and Jameer Gibbs. Sonic and Knuckles.
They were Sonic and Knuckles?
Yeah.
Who are Sonic and Knuckles?
Yes,
a Sega video game from 30 years ago.
It's a callback. Good video. I mean, I always enjoyed that when I was like 8.
I played Sonic.
A Sega video game? I mean, what, was Pong not available? I mean, did we have to go back to the Atari days to get a nickname?
Yeah, that's before my time.
Nobody has Sega Game Gear, Sega Genesis.
Yeah,
was,
I think you're being a little harsh.
No, I'm kidding.
I think you're being a little harsh on Sonic
I'm being harsh on your generation because they refuse to give nicknames.
Branding.
I'm a nickname guy.
Branding.
Yeah, branding. It's a lot to do with social media branding.
But that's also why Iceman could work in Chicago, because nobody remembers George Gervin anymore. I mean, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be remembered.
I understand that, but they also can remember God gave them a brain for creativity, so maybe they can come up with their own ideas and not steal from others.
This is a great way to generate young audience. I mean, they just,
Nickname suggestions for Alec. We do our brother solids.
Are there talkbacks for this?
Let me see. Yeah. I got 2 or 3 talkbacks, and then I have some text messages as well.
This is the talkback. I mean, this show provides the talk and talkback.
Well, here's one we played before.
Yo, this is Ryan from Sioux Falls.
There you go.
I think the most appropriate name for Max Bredesen would be Max Bam Bam Bredesen. Bam Bam for short. What do you think?
I didn't mind that. Now, this is...
Bam Bam?
I mean, it's. I don't know if I'm going to have one for him during the game calls, but you are the one at The Athletic recently said Bredesen needs a nickname, and you are soliciting ideas. Bam Bam. That's not bad.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad. I'm curious. It's not bad. That was creative.
Wasn't that a Jetsons character? Bam Bam.
Flintstones.
Or Flintstones,
Yeah,
excuse me.
Flintstones,
Yeah,
yes.
Never saw it. I'm very curious to see how they use Max Bredesen. Will it be in the Alec Ingold, Miami
Forget that.
Dolphins?
What about the nickname? If you don't like Bam Bam,
We're
Bam
trying to
Bam
help you
guy's
here.
not going to stop listening to the show.
I don't think I'd
take it personally.
I'd put Bam Bam
Got
on a
it.
T-shirt yet.
Okay, how about this? Because it's Bredesen.
Sure.
I got this text
Sourdough.
message. How about the Doughboy? When defenses bring the heat, he rises to the occasion.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Alex.
Brilliant.
See, this is why you solicit ideas.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why you ask for talkbacks.
I love
These
that.
people are you guys driving around listening to this show. You're creative. You are good.
I know they are.
Let's see here.
This is Brady from beautiful northern Minnesota, McIntosh, Minnesota to be exact. To encourage Max to get some carries, how about we call him Max Tote the Loaf of Bredesen?
Tote the loaf.
I mean,
I was born to green.
That's about right. Well, we had big stacks Max. We had
Stacks Max.
Max prevents the sacks Bredesen.
Could be in pass protection.
Yeah.
Or no sacks Max. You have that. What else do we have? Let me see here. Oh.
PA, good morning. We love you out here in KFAN land, so all the haters, they can keep on hating, but just know the bigger majority of us love you, man.
Oh, good.
How about Max the Mover, part of the Minnesota Vikings moving company? Max the Mover.
Right.
Have a great day, PA, and go Scotty Scheffler.
Okay.
By the way,
can you repeat the part of this stuff
about where everybody hates me, and then, but you don't. What was it? Max the Mover?
Max the Mover.
The mover.
Sounds like a distant cousin to Bob the Builder.
I would say. I would say the two. I would have high on the list. The Doughboy, he rises to the occasion.
Yeah,
I like that.
cool.
And then Mad Max, still, it's Nordo. I think you did a good job.
It's simple and it's 70s post-apocalyptic Mel Gibson. But
sure.
How about this one though? I like this one. So, have you ever seen the movie Predator?
No.
With Arnold?
No.
First of all, it's cinematic brilliance.
Is it really?
You have to watch it.
I haven't seen it in like 25 years.
I'm not an elite cinema mind.
This courtesy of the inbox. How about the Predator?
Ooh, the Predator.
You like that?
Yeah.
See, that's it, and you got to hit it with the Tor because Predator doesn't say
Predator.
Is the last movie you watched or maybe you saw in a theater, was it Shaving Ryan's Privates? I always loved that one.
I watched the other night. I'd never seen what's it called? I'm blanking. Yeah, can you repeat the part?
PA's favorite is Deep Impact.
No, I watched. What is?
Don't make me cough, man.
It's
Common won't work for 3 weeks.
It's Matt Damon. It's Matt Damon.
Are you talking about
the card movie?
No, Rounders is great,
Rounders
but I've never seen that. No, it was
with John Malkovich.
I'm blanking horrifically on this.
It's with oh my goodness.
Yeah, because he was only in like 2 movies. He was in 1 million.
Good Will Hunting.
Yes, Good Will Hunting.
That's a smart movie.
I'd never seen it. Yeah, Robin Williams. I'd never seen it. A few weeks ago, I sat down and I enjoyed that film.
Oh,
Robin
he does
Williams.
the "It's Not Your Fault" bit.
Great, just great. It was the whole movie. Yeah.
How familiar were you with Robin Williams?
I mean, familiar, certainly. But I mean, he was good in that movie. He was good.
All right, appreciate you, man, and I look forward to having you back on a weekly basis.
Yep, next week should be fun.
As is Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com. Thank you very much,
Thanks.
Alec.
See you guys.
That's Alec Lewis. Read that story about the 45 and 45 plus Vikings immortality. Dennis Ryan, the long-standing equipment manager, salt of the earth, too. That one dropped this morning. It is The Athletic and theathletic.com. We'll return after this.
This is 9 to noon, live on iHeartRadio and KFAN, The Fan.
From the 1-800